who know that Shabbat is the most beautiful day. Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Almighty's greatest gift to us, is the festive occasion of Shabbat itself. And it's hard to make Shabbat more beautiful than it already is. And yet, we've succeeded in making Shabbat a bit more beautiful. Erev Shabbat, yesterday, today, magnificent, festive occasion it is, has made Shabbat a more memorable, overwhelming experience. Erev Shabbat, the thrill of writing the very last letter of a Sefer Torah, the joy of greeting all of those people, the excitement of hearing all of those Divrei Torah has made Erev Shabbat into a very special day, and today's excitement has made this into an overwhelming, memorable experience. But I would say that Parashat Ki Tavo sheds a certain kind of light on yesterday and today's events. Follow me closely. Here we find that Moshe Rabbeinu gathers in all the Jewish people and says to them, Atem Reitem, you've seen all that the Almighty has done to Egypt and Pharaoh, Kol Avadah, Kol Artzot. You've seen wondrous, astounding, overwhelming miracles, wondrous sights. Yet, Pasuk Gimel tells us, you really didn't understand that which you had experienced. And now you thought, you didn't understand that which you had seen, and that which you had heard. Rather, you've gone through 40 years of experiences in a desert. And only, Adi Yom Hazeh, now you're going to put all of the pieces together. What is Moshe's message? Now, at the very last moments, before he takes leave of the Jewish people, the very final words of Moshe Rabbeinu to his Kahal, what is he trying to communicate to them? And I would say to you that here Moshe is trying to communicate the most important message that any teacher can communicate to his students and that any parent can communicate to his child. Moshe is saying to us that you live life. And as we walk through life, we are touched by many experiences. Many events impact upon us. And yet we don't always see the total picture. The broader picture of what life is really all about. How all of these experiences, as experienced discreetly, come together to form an entire picture of what life is really all about. Bnei Israel had overwhelming experiences. They had seen great, wondrous sights. And yet, even as they lived through them, they really didn't understand. Lev Ladat. They really didn't comprehend completely what this entire experience was really all about. They didn't see the whole picture ad hayom hazeh. At this point, Moshe Rabbeinu asked them to put it all together to create a total picture of what life is all about. Moshe says that these 40 years of experiences now have to be integrated into a total picture, the broader picture of what Borei Olam demands of us. As we live through life, we have to try at any moment of life to see how this immediate, discrete experience is fit into the total picture of life itself. Not to live life and experience life only from the perspective of the here and now, but rather to try to see every discrete experience as part of a total, whole picture of life. Let's take a very concrete example. You have businessman X. He lives a very difficult life. Things never came easy to him. He did poorly in school. The principal didn't like him. The teachers didn't like him. The students didn't like him. Always picked upon, mocked and scorned. And he always raised, why is my life so difficult? And the first 25 years of business were extremely hard. And then, all of a sudden, his business strikes it rich. He becomes fantastically wealthy. And now comes the key question. Does he view this fantastic wealth as a here and now experience, that I must now enjoy all this newfound wealth with new cars and a new house with diamonds and mints? Or does he see this moment against the backdrop of his entire life and understand that now I'm not going to treat those who treated me harshly, harshly. Now I see this as a moment to be viewed against the entire backdrop. And all the difficulties and all the hardships that I experienced were part and parcel of a total life's picture that now have to inform how I, in fact, utilize my great wealth. Bnei Israel experienced slavery and affliction. To teach them that part of their total picture of life is not to treat others in the same way that they were treated. Not to afflict others, not to enslave others. They were demeaned, treated harshly. They should not demean others and not treat others harshly. See the total picture of life and see their experiences as informing that total picture of life. The same is true for me this day. As wonderful as this day was, all the honor, all the beautiful words spoken are only part of a bigger picture of life as I experience it. I don't absolutize this moment of time. As wealthy as I feel, as wonderful I feel, it's only one more step in a total picture of life. One more step in trying to do what's right by others, of trying to engage in tikkun olam, making the world a better place. When Borei Olam asked of me, how did you spend your time? I'm going to say, yes, perhaps I'd seen a bit too many Yankee games, but also I had studied Torah to the best of my potential. I tried to fulfill that potential, taking Torah very seriously and spending time engaged in the study of Torah itself. And I would tell Borei Olam, I did feed a poor person. I did visit a sick person. And I perhaps gave that person a bit more of hope to cope with his difficult illness. And perhaps a few words that we had spoken made a person feel a bit better about his life. And maybe we even relieved a bit of suffering to somebody who suffered a loss. And I hope that Borei Olam tells me at that point, smilingly, and says to me, you didn't do it all, but you did certainly enough. Shabbat Shalom.